there's a way to make an entrance.
This is my destiny.
It was now a conspiracy of witches.
Download Veely today.
Jillian and Daniel have a spare room that needs a new identity.
It's a little stuffy, it's a little dark.
It feels a little cramped and outdated.
A lot of dark, somber, moody colors.
It's a small room. It's not a wow room. There's plenty we can do with it, but Jillian has some issues.
I am actually afraid of color.
Wow. In spite of this challenge, it'll become a work-play destination, and we're gonna show you how right now. Great design comes from a winning formula. Mine is as basic as a set of building blocks. Put them together, add up the results, and you've got a sensational room. Jillian and Daniel have just bought their first home. They're in love with its traditional style, except for one tiny room. They know what they want, but not how to get there.
I definitely want a designated area for working.
It'd be nice if we could both be in the room at the same time, just lounging, reading a book, or just surfing the internet.
Aha! Sounds like they want everything. That's where Tommy and I come in.
Thank you.
Or try to. Well, access is a bit of a problem.
What a charming little room. Little room.
With an overscaled wall unit.
Yes, looming over me as we speak. While it is very efficient, certainly, in terms of storage and things, are you okay there?
Exercise. I don't know, I just have to keep stepping over this bench, which is really in my way. What's my problem?
You need to do a workout video using existing furniture in people's homes. One thing that's a little strange is the sloped ceiling and then these little sort of half dormers in a way.
I think they're charming.
But I definitely want to play up the room's unique architectural strengths.
When you've got a situation like this where you have a wall that goes up and then turns into the ceiling, you need to pick a point. And if you don't have trim to help delineate the walls from the ceiling, you need to just take the color up and over. Now, I think it's probably a good thing that they didn't take the plaid wallpaper all the way up and over the ceiling because you'd feel kind of gift wrapped.
Not the package I'm looking for.
Oh.
Does that match?
No, Tommy, the carpet does not match the blinds.
Given the fact that it's a relatively small space, especially a small space to be converted into dual purpose.
Right.
Do we need that closet?
You don't need it for what they're using it for.
I'm not saying demo it necessarily, but it's a problem that we're gonna have to address.
This space requires some big thinking. Here's the brief. We've got to make a tiny room multifunctional to serve as a home office and lounge space. Showcase the room's architectural features, and devise clever storage solutions to reduce clutter and keep the space relaxing. Okay, here's a high-stakes element for you. Is it masculine? Is it feminine?
I think it's both.
I think we need to keep the character, keep the charm.
Yes.
Balance, storage, functionality, and comfort.
Yeah.
And give it a bit of an update.
It definitely needs an update.
An update and a color palette that will suit a man and a woman. Fine and dandy, except...
I am actually afraid of color.
So no bold green or red colors in the room.
There's a lot of things in life to be terrified of. Color is not one of them. No color means no interest. This small room needs personality, which means finding something Jillian and Daniel might both like. So I thought some blue would be really nice.
That is a totally different direction than I thought you were gonna go in.
You always go all moody, dark, and masculine, and I want this to be a little bit brighter. Blue for him, a touch of pretty for her.
That seems a bit Floridian. I know that fabric is really expensive, but it's really beautiful.
How about that? Oh.
Well, to me, that's exactly the same as this. Well, I mean, obviously there's a difference, but there's a subtle difference.
$27.99 a yard? Guess. $360 a yard.
Seriously.
Seriously. Hello. I think we've got a winner. So our palette will be a marriage of blues and grays for him and florals for her. But before we can do anything with the fabric, we have to deal with some issues, like updating the knob and tube wiring and replacing way past it fixtures. The bones have to be just right. That, and having our design team, Lindsay and Michael, get rid of the dusty, old, dusty rose broadloom.
I'm starting with these
Pliers.
pliers.
Proving that a rose never smelled so sweet. Check it out. These original floors are a good foundation.
Oh!
Oh, but it's not a good shape.
Now that we've stripped out the old, Tommy and I can get cracking.
Whoa, what is that smell?
That's the smell of old underpad.
Could somebody have not removed it before we got here?
Okay, let's talk about the floor.
Right.
There's no split boards. There's some stains, but realistically, we should be able to give them a light sand and a new coat, which would allow us to change the color.
You know what, I totally agree with you. Just because they look like hell right now doesn't mean they couldn't look good later.
Okay?
What do you think about chair rails? I brought a bunch.
Well, I was thinking it would be nice to have it at about this height. Because there isn't a clear line where the wall ends and the ceiling begins, adding a chair rail will help define both and draw attention to the unique shape of the ceiling.
Normally you would use something like this.
Which is pretty small. So we really want something that's more like this, that's in keeping with the trim profile that we've already got. I came, I saw, I decided. Now I leave. Bye.
Now we leave.
As the plaid wallpaper comes down, Michael is searching for the all-important desk. Not too feminine, not too masculine, and not too expensive. So where are you thinking the desk is gonna go?
Well, I see the desk either peninsulaing from under the front window.
Right.
Or at the opposite end of the room.
If you did it in a peninsula, you could have a chair on either side.
Right.
I think Sarah and Tommy can build any kind of style around a piece like this, but where function comes into it, they might be a little iffy.
What if we peninsulated it from the wall at the end closest to the closet? That way you could convert the closet into storage.
Yeah.
And then I was imagining a pair of chaise lounges. Michael's hunt continues.
This desk is a good option because it's transitional and it can go either modern or traditional.
Some additional pieces, surfaces, consoles. No thanks, I'm good. All right, that's a plan. Back at the office, it's time to see if Michael's search was fruitful. Okay, 4 options. Exotic wood and chrome.
It looks a little store-bought to me.
Big partner's desk.
Doesn't that seem a bit formal?
It also seems a bit expensive. It's $12,000.
That's got no storage, nothing going for it. It's all flash, no function.
Something more feminine?
It's a bit too dainty.
Okay, we keep looking.
Okay, we're not there yet.
We're not there. And we may not be there with the wallpaper choice either.
I don't really like it.
Wow. Jillian and Daniel's unique but awkward go-nowhere room is becoming a work lounge destination. We started by tearing out the old.
What is that smell?
And are working on how to showcase its features.
So we'd like to maintain some of that character, but a little more modernized.
But beware, we're also adding color.
Kind of terrifies me a little bit.
And the desk search is coming up empty.
We're not there yet.
We're not there. We're hitting the streets for more options.
It's too traditional.
Hello. Can I put you on
Hold,
hold?
please.
Hold, please.
Here's a desk.
I want it to have a bit more flair, a bit more character.
You're asking a lot for this voyage of discovery.
Okay, well, I can dream big, can't I?
Don't get desperate. There's a couple of desks. There's one here,
No.
maybe too small, and there's one here.
Oh,
I saw this as we came in.
it's actually made by a good manufacturer.
Mm-hmm.
Nice deep drawers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it would be lovely in a shade of white or pale gray.
Okay. As a wood finish or painted?
I don't know, you tell me. What are you feeling like today? Because I'm feeling like when the desk costs $145 is solid wood, is vintage and made by a good manufacturer. We got some money to play with here. What do you want to do? We need a decision because work is happening at breakneck speed. The floors have been refinished and the new chair rail is defining the break between the showcase ceiling and the wall. And while that's happening, Lindsay has come up with numbers to refinish the vintage desk.
$700 to stain?
Really?
Yes.
That's too much.
Too much, but $200 to spray.
You know, we only paid $145 for the desk, so I'm definitely willing to spend $200 changing the color.
How about adding a custom piece of marble? A lot of marble places have remnant programs. We can get a piece of marble for about $250 to sit on top of this.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific. Okay, so let's do that. Let's spray it, let's add marble.
Perfect, done.
A gray and white Carrera marble desktop will jibe with our cool color palette. And if you go for a remnant, you'll save a bundle.
60 to 75% savings.
Okay, do you have remnants in Carrera?
Remnants in Carrera right here.
Right there. I like that.
So make sure that it's the one that you like.
That's perfect. We'll take it.
As for the relaxation side of the room, the best way to give Jillian and Daniel their own lounging area are those his and hers chaises. We're having them custom made to fit the tiny space. And here's a clever idea to replace that overbearing bookcase. We're installing shelves in the closet. A simple retrofit will help it to swallow a ton of stuff, but we still need more. Oh, look at this. Found a couple of options here.
Options for?
A console to go behind the desk and
Okay.
maybe a storage cabinet as well.
Great.
Okay. Option 1, 2 drawers and a shelf.
I like that.
Option 2, 3 smaller drawers, no shelf.
Not crazy about that.
Okay, then I have options for a console or a credenza. What do you think between these two options?
I would say the open storage in a really small room like this would give a little more lightness to the space.
I think you're right. I think it's lighter looking.
Quick question.
Yeah.
We're committing to this from a website.
Did you want me to zoom in so you can see it closer? Like it?
It's really not quite the same as pulling the drawers and making sure that it works well, but okay.
Okay. It's good. What could possibly go wrong? The desk is getting a new attitude. Repainting an inexpensive vintage piece gives you a one-of-a-kind gem. Meanwhile, Lindsay and Michael are scouring the city for the perfect... No, not candy, wallpaper, to go below the new chair rail. It needs to tread that fine line between masculine and feminine while working with our cool blue palette.
Don't think that's the right feel.
Too bold. No.
This could be good.
Too old-fashioned. I like that. No, no.
We want something subtle, soothing, cozy, and calm. I think this is a great option.
I think this is the right wallpaper for the room because I think it will help add some architectural interest. But will our color-shy couple agree?
I don't really like it.
Wow.
I'm thinking from afar it's gonna look like a bunch of ants climbing up the wall.
She's got serious problems.
And I think that would actually make me very scared.
What happens to this person when actual bugs and actually horrifying things happen?
Like, honestly, is this gonna be in our house?
Today's case study is squeezing a home office and lounge space from Jillian and Daniel's small, strangely appointed room.
It feels a little cramped and outdated.
One end of the room has slanted ceilings. The other end of the room has curved ceilings.
We're working with the unique architecture, finding some clever storage solutions, and what we thought was the perfect wallpaper.
It's gonna look like a bunch of ants climbing up the wall.
The amazing thing about pattern is it elicits a very visceral reaction from people. It's emotional, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I was pretty keen to go with the one that Lindsay had found. However, looks like Jillian's gonna get her way because that wallpaper is so new and so exciting that it doesn't even come in stock for another month yet. Guess we'll have to hit the sample books again, but not before finding a rug to lay atop that newly refinished floor that will anchor the furniture and connect the office and lounge.
I like this patchwork stuff.
To match our jumping off fabric, it has to be blue, but not too blue.
I am actually afraid of color.
We know. Too dark. So we're trying to go a bit more conservative. Red.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. Love that.
That's very blue.
She hates color, eh? Is that a color? Here we go again, another hint. That's beautiful.
Well, you know, what drew me to this fabric is the fact that it has a variety of blues and it has the more greeny blue as well.
Just bang on that color.
And this carpet brings in those two exact elements. Multi-shades of blue, but instead of just being blue, it's also got the blue-green, which makes it that much more dynamic, that much more interesting to me.
This is a color carpet, but it's a conservative color carpet.
Exactly.
You don't have to convince me. You're gonna have to convince her, though.
Now to gingerly pick the wallpaper.
No. Ooh, that looks like a theater lobby. Nice, but kind of boring.
This is not buggy. This is lovely.
I'm not bugged by it.
Let's commit. You want to commit?
Sure.
Okay. Let's also talk then about color samples here.
Like, honestly, I'm really scared of color.
How about we go darkest inside the closet for
Yeah.
the most impact, lightest on the ceiling so it doesn't feel like it's falling in on you.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. We're going with color in the fabric, on the ceiling, and inside the fab new closet. Now for a light fixture with pizzazz and low enough profile for the tight ceiling. Red, no. Black, no. Birdcage, no. Okay, what's that up there? Is that cool? Is that funky? Is that edgy?
No, that's a punch bowl with electrification. No, you're getting desperate.
Me desperate, him honest. And the search continues. Well, we're having no luck. Hope someone else is.
Look what I have.
This is exactly what I wanted. I looked everywhere. Michael found 2 traditional fixtures, one vintage and one reproduction. When I look at the quality and the construction of old versus new, I'm going old all the way.
Perfect.
Remember those dormer windows? The fabric that's inspiring our blue-gray palette is being used for tailor-made window coverings. The wallpaper goes up, and the online furniture order Tommy is skeptical about has been delivered. The new storage cabinet, the console,
This one looks like it's okay so far.
and we also ordered 2 armchairs to tie into the traditional vibe of the room.
Yep, just check those splits.
So far, one good.
I think I'm about to win him over.
Oh, nope.
What?
Demo.
Oh, no!
Well, maybe not.
Well, guys, that's the joy of ordering furniture online.
What do you do about that?
You send it back. Having to manage all of this kind of shipping and receiving and sending it back and getting a new one and everything, it's an awful lot of work. So the convenience of ordering online, sometimes, not so much about the convenience. I hate to say I told you so. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I love to say I told you so.
This small, dreary room already feels bigger and brighter, and it's on its way to becoming the sophisticated home office and lounge Jillian and Daniel crave. We've changed the offending wallpaper and have gone with color in spite of the couple's misgivings.
Like, honestly, is this gonna be in our house?
The question is, will Jillian and Daniel like what we've done?
Beautiful.
Oh yeah. Thanks to an overnight courier, the replacement desk chair has arrived. The rest of the furniture is delivered along with his and hers chaises. Look at our desk. The key to a small space is use the least number of large pieces of furniture. We may have one more than we need. The challenge for this room was that it was small and it felt pokey and tight. But in the end, I think that's what gives it the charm and the character.
What this den/home office does is it provides these people with a day-to-day enjoyment of their home that they may not have otherwise had.
The transformation of this room seems extraordinarily dramatic, but realistically, this is just decorating. This was not a big renovation. There was no structural impact. Really, this is what you can do if you remove what's not working and replace it with thoughtful elements.
I love the final outcome. I am so pleased. Like, it's beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
2 words. Love it, love it, love it.
Obviously, the fabric that we chose as the starting off point could be viewed as being a little bit more feminine. But the good news is it's not overtly girly. And since it's rendered all in muted shades of blue, I think that appeals to the male perspective. Then, by having some furnishings that are simple, not patterned, comfortable, I think that helps achieve a more male perspective.
When you look at a sloped ceiling, you find a place to start and stop. So what Sarah did by adding that chair rail gave us an opportunity to have something that wraps up and then something that goes from the chair rail down to the floor.
If you've got a room with some quirky architecture, I say you need to embrace it, and you have to build a room around it.
The wallpaper is actually just beautiful. Like, it's very light and airy, and it brings out the blue accents in the room, so I really love it.
When it comes to window treatments, I don't think you have to make a single decision and go with it. I wanted the drapes for softness in the sitting area, but because we had a radiator by the desk area, I wanted it to be a Roman blind. As far as I'm concerned, if you've got the same fabric on both windows, you can choose different treatments. We turned an underutilized closet into a full vertical wall of storage. Amazing. Removing the closet entirely and patching the floor and patching the plaster would have been costly. It also wouldn't have been a wise move in terms of resale. The good news is you can always easily remove the shelves if this needs to be turned back into something that would work for clothes storage.
I guess it really goes to show that like you can have functionality and beauty at the same time.
Every piece of furniture we chose had a combination of surface and open storage and closed storage. And then everything got unified with the details by making sure that we had chrome accents or hardware on everything. It makes all of it come together perfectly.
Having the desk on one side coming out from one wall and the chaise lounges on the other side coming out from the other wall, we have balance, we have symmetry, and we have a perfect space.
Honestly, when I come to this room, I feel like it's like my oasis.
And nothing says relax more than a chaise.
A painted desk surface is not the most durable, so adding that remnant from the marble yard on the top of the desk makes it durable for the long run. I hope that we've given them a room that they love, but also a learning experience in terms of decorating and furnishing a space. And if they've learned something, I'll be really happy. Because they're a pretty cute couple. Even though she's terrified of buggy wallpaper, I still love her.
Just in case you were wondering, if it was available, we still would have put it up.
I'm just gonna do a little test drive, see if anybody notices I'm in here. Very, very comfortable. But you know what? Hanging out in this truck's got me thinking, Lance's truck could really do with a makeover. No, accent of color, some accessories. Lance, we need to perk up your truck a bit.